Welcome along, everyone. Round 5 of the season is here at California. Jordan Davis and Jeffrey Fungi, two drivers that are one of the best rivalries the sport has ever seen. Davis and Fungi very close in qualifying, and they were actually a good bit faster than Acosta and Bassinger that are right behind them, and a great run for qualifying for Bassinger. Jake Bassinger has had 0 top 10s to start the year, and Bassinger really needs a good run. His teammate Jesse Turner, Martin Hoffman, they've all kind of struggled, while Hero Motorsports is actually really impressed, but no Hero Motorsports car inside the top 10. So look down the order a little bit. Matthew Rodriguez and DJ Curtis, they have been the stars for Martin Motorsports this season. They are going to be in 5th and 6th place for the starting lineup. Great run for them. Kyle Collins, another good run for him in 7th place with the qualifying effort. Weeks and Dylan Young, teammates to Jordan Davis, all of Yamp Motorsports are in the top 10. Yamp Motorsports are going to bring the heat for Allen Family Racing Team and Fungi Saitomi. Those 5 Dodges have been so fast, but the other 3 Fords of the Yamp Motorsport cars have been so quick as well. It has been so much fun to watch them go head-to-head, and we're about to see them go head-to-head again here at California. But deep in the pack, we have some engine changes. Deep in the pack, the Martin Motorsport engine cars of Dom Capps, John Art, and Eric DeMax decided to do an engine change for this race weekend after the 3rd weekend in a row last week that an engine failure has happened for a Martin Motorsports car. So Capps, Art, and DeMax have decided to fold their qualifying position and change an engine. So they will start at the rear of the field. Will Lewis and Jake West tangled in practice. They had Lewis ran really well in practice. Jake West kind of struggled, but they collided, spun in a turn 1 and 2 wall, and they will be in backup cars and start deep in the pack. So, for today's race, we're about to get it underway. 150 miles for 75 laps. Getting set and ready for round 5 on the schedule. Jordan Davis, Jeffrey Fungi, two of the best series rivals on the front row. Gonna see how they fare. Dylan Young in the 88. He's won here 2 years. We've talked about him all week. Can he pull it off? And point leader, Ryan Griffin lost a lot of points out at Willow Springs. Can he get back on track here at California? Gonna wait and see how that figures all things out. The Martin Motorsports cars going to the rear for engine changes. See how that changes things. But coming to the line, Jordan Davis, the pole sitter by 1/1000th of a second over Jeffrey Fungi. How are these two going to fare? As we come to the line, the green flag is flying, and we're racing. Already Jake Bassinger trying to go to the outside of Fungi. Acosta trying to go to the inside of Jordan Davis. 4 wide, hit it off in a turn 1. Look at this on the first lap. Ryan Acosta with an amazing start. Slides way up into Jordan Davis slightly. Everyone fanning out off of turn 2. What a brilliant start for Ryan Acosta. He moves his way up to first. And look at this. Bobby Jones, look at Ryan Griffin there on the bottom. As they come off turn 4, be careful. Sanford's in the wall. Smith's in the wall. Fungi, who started outside the front row, he's outside the top 20. And 4 wide. Bobby Jones, Jesse Turner. Look at that start by Ryan Griffin. What a start to the race. And everyone racing. Look at that TJ Martin sideways. Man, there's a crash in the back. Many cars crashing up in turns 2. And it's, oh, look at there. Fungi and Dodd are involved. They're in the top 5 in the point standings. Wonder who else was involved, but racing back to the start-finish line. Kyle Collins, a brilliant start for him. He qualified well. But Ryan Acosta is going to take us to caution. When you look at this, look at the cars just fanned out nearly 4 wide down the straightaway. Everyone trying to get in line, get in order. But it's going to start here. Zachary Fitzwater drives it up on the bottom, gets into Matt DeLeo, into Dodd, into Fungi. A hard hit for Hoffman. Klein piles in. There's the 61 car of Jose Mills. The hard hit for the 47 and the 4 of Luis Hernandez. Smith involved, Pierre Cleese. There's Dom Capps. Another race weekend. Dom Capps is involved in something. Looking at it again, here comes Fitzwater sliding up. Really pushing it hard into turn 1, and the car just won't turn. Into Matt DeLeo. And up into Chris Dodd. Man, Weeks very lucky to get away from that one, but Finn Guy, who is in search of 5 consecutive top 10s to start the year, possibly not going to happen with that damage. Hoffman turned around, up into Hayden Klein, Jose Mills, Fitzwater. There's Smith involved. There's Pierre Cleese. Look at Jose Mills getting damaged. And then Charlie Smith, yet Pierre Cleese sliding up the track. Hard hit to the outside wall. Smith gets turned on his side there momentarily. And a vicious hit for Pierre Cleese and for Charlie Smith. On board with Dom Caps, another race weekend, and he's involved in something. This is a tough break for Dom Caps because after this race, he's going to be a go or go homer. On board Nick Pericles. That hit to the outside wall was just absolutely brutal. As we come back to the restart for lap 7 of 75, Nick Pericles, Jose Mills, Hayden Klein, Zachary Fitzwater, Caleb Hoffman, and Charlie Smith. They are all out of the race, and your top 10 as they run on the restart: Acosta, Collins, Davis. Then there's Young, Rodriguez, Harple. Then there's Ryan Griffin, amazing start for him. Jones, there's Davidson, and up in the top 10 now, Nick Mace moving his way up on the inside. But a brilliant start to the race for Ryan Acosta. We mentioned it on the jump. He had such a great start to make his way up to first. Kyle Collins has now lost a position to not only Jordan Davis, but possibly to Matthew Rodriguez as he's looking for a spot on him. Rodriguez has been the lead driver over there for the Toyota camp as of late. He's the only driver that hasn't had really any engine issues. Dejon Weeks there, getting really racy with teammate Dylan Young, and Bobby Jones is there. He has been racing super hard with these guys. And further back, Ryan Griffin has dropped tremendously. He got shuffled on that start. So Griffin made a great jump on the green flag of this race to move up the order, but he just got kick-dropped back again. And they're racing 3 wide back here for around 10th. Mace and Lamas continue to race with each other. 7th place, Bobby Jones. I can't say enough for Hero Motorsports this season. They have been so good with the Turn Performance Alliance, and Dejon Weeks is up to 6th. He's trying to work his way up to the leaders. He's actually up to 5th now as he's worked his way up the order some. But Jordan Davis, the pole sitter, trying to run down Ryan Acosta. Here's someone that's working his way towards the front. Will Lewis, he started out back, started around dead last, and he's up into the top 20. A great rebound for Will Lewis, who is up there in the top 10 in the point standings. He's had a great run in the early stages of 2019, and looking to prove everyone that Horizon Group has things figured out as well. For the 4th position, Dejon Weeks is just gonna blow right on by Matthew Rodriguez. No challenge from Rodriguez. Dejon Weeks on a mission towards the front. And half a lap later, here he comes after Kyle Collins. Dejon Weeks looking to go back-to-back from Willow Springs to here at California. And he just goes right by Kyle Collins, and now he's trying to get right there to his teammate. Man, Dejon Weeks is so fast right now. And back there, further behind them, Nick Mason challenging there with Bobby Jones. And Dejon Weeks, what a fast race car he has. He's flying his way to the front, and now he's going to have his eyes on Ryan Acosta. We made a lot of talk about Dylan Young at the start of this weekend, and it's his birthday weekend, and Young really not showing the pace of his teammates. Weeks and Davis running really good, but Young is down here in 17th, and he's actually getting passed by people around the outside. Curtis is there, Schwellenberg, Shelley, and Will Lewis is there, who started out back. So he's struggling just a little bit. Ryan Griffin, who started outside the top 20, he worked his way into the top 10 and then fell out of it again. He just passed Davidson, who's having a pretty solid run for Hero Motorsports, up to 12th. And here comes Weeks for the race lead. He is just so good through the center of the corner, just watching here. Dejon Weeks, right there, able to slide job that 45 car and able to get the gas so much better than everyone else. And bye-bye, Dejon Weeks is your new race leader, and he's going to be tough to beat today. Battle for the third position. Kyle Collins trying to get around Jordan Davis. Nick Mace is there trying to get around Matthew Rodriguez. And Mace working his way towards the front as well. Acosta and Weeks pulling the gap a little bit on third place now. But, man, like I said, Dejon Weeks is going to be so hard to beat. Acosta trying to hang in with him. And Collins does get that position from Davis, but Davis is going to try and get it back. Matthew Rodriguez trying to get back at Nick Mace, but not able to get the fight off the corner. Looking a little further back, has Ryan Griffin been able to make his way up, still back there in 12th, the point leader. And here comes Davis underneath that 86 of Collins. He does get third place back. Nick Mace is there. 4 cars in a battle for third place. So they're fixing to lock horns for this position, which is allowing Weeks and Acosta to break away. Here's somebody that is really struggling at the start of 2019. Jesse Turner, runner-up last year for the championship, the 2015 champion. And Jesse Turner sitting down here in 25th. I don't know if he has any kind of issue. Did not see anything wrong in the first caution flag with Jesse Turner, but he's down here in 25th, racing John Art, PJ Williams. But up in front of him, Jeffrey Fengai pancaked the outside wall, was involved in the first wreck. He's up to 21st, and I thought that this race would be the end of his top 10 streak, but he's not wanting to give up. He's wanting to get there and try and duke it out. He's got a car that's relatively up to pace. 4 wide with Young up here trying to get in the top 15. Young, Curtis, Harple, and Bassinger going at it with Will Lewis there too. So a big scramble here. And look at there. Ryan Griffin has worked his way into the top 10 now. TJ Martin and Bobby Jones, some youngsters in the series, having a great day so far. 8th and 9th position. And Will Lewis looking like he's going to prevail out of this big-ass battle for 11th place. And Will Lewis and Dylan Young side by side. Zayden Davidson is there. Harple trying to get the nose underneath of Davidson. And Will Lewis breaks away from that pack. Young trying to do the same. Bassinger, who has not had a top 10 finish all year long, trying to get away from them. Further up for third, Nick Mace has got around Jordan Davis and relatively with ease, bringing Kyle Collins with him. Matthew Rodriguez also trying to get underneath of Jordan Davis here. And wow, Davis really lost a lot of time in turn 1. Here comes Lamas underneath of Matthew Rodriguez. Collins continuing to prove everyone that he is worthy of a good ride. Collins relatively has not had the performance in the last few years to show that he is a capable driver of running up towards the front, but Rockingham, he led a lot of laps, could have won there. And here today at California in the top 5, and he's holding his own. Nick Mace got really loose last time in turn 1, and he lost a position there to Kyle Collins. And here comes Davis now, back underneath of him. Matthew Rodriguez really seems like he's struggling in the corners to get to the gas quicker, and Rodriguez not able to get the passes done like he should be able to. And here comes Lamas, he's all over him. Here's Bobby Jones, the point leader, trying to get underneath of TJ Martin. That's for position. Will Lewis trying to run these guys down. And Lamas sliding up nearly into Rodriguez. Rodriguez had to go a little wide. Here comes Bobby Jones, nearly 4 wide off turn 2. And Jones, that's for position on Rodriguez. He gets it away. He's hunting down Cody Lamas. And underneath of the 7-Eleven Chevy. And Lamas not playing around. He gets after it and holds up the 98. Here comes the 43 and the 76. How about Will Lewis? Looking for a top 10 run right now. Lewis started out back, and on lap 25 of the race, he's in the top 10. Matthew Rodriguez continuing to struggle. It looks like he is really tight. Insanely tight, because he cannot get at the gas very quickly. He is now outside of, he's like 15th or so. So Rodriguez really struggling with the handling. His teammate DJ Curtis is there battling with him. And this is a huge scramble with Bobby Jones and Bassinger leading the charge. They're just inside the top 10 while everyone behind them continuing to race really hard for that position. Single file right there behind Jordan Davis. That's for 4th. Mace trying to get him back. Davis, Mace, Lamas, Griffin, and Lewis. Great rebound for Lewis. I can't say enough for him. That is insane to see him in 8th. But his teammate up there in 3rd, Horizon Group, looking really strong. Here comes Mace on Davis and Griffin on Lamas. And look at Griffin down the inside of Mace. Oh, but he thought better of it, and he pushes up. And Lamas going to try and fight back, but here comes Lewis. Got a great angle into the corner there off for turn 2. He's going to get Lamas there for position. And Griffin gets a good run down the back straight away. This is for 5th place. Ryan Griffin qualified outside the top 20. And look at him here. The point leader trying to claw his way towards the front. But he can't quite get around Nick Mays. Mays fights back around the outside. If you've wondered what the distance was from 1st to 2nd, Dejon Weeks pulling the gap there. There's Ryan Acosta, a huge gap from 2nd. Then there's 3rd, then 4th. A big battle for 4th. And to get to the top 5 because here comes the Dodges. Here comes Griffin. Here comes Lewis. They're on the bottom. They're trying to eat up some Carl's Jr.'s today to the inside of Davis. And he's going to make the pass work. Lewis to the inside of Griffin. But he can't get the power down. And the 43 into the top 5. Matthew Rodriguez may have fell outside the top 10, but Martin Motorsports about to claw their way back into a top 10 spot. Curtis underneath of Bobby Jones. That's for 10th place, and move Curtis up into the top 10. Griffin not ready to give up underneath of Nick Mace, trying to get that position away. Nick Mace has been able to hold off Griffin anytime he tried to make a move on him. But here comes Lewis as well. And Will Lewis, a fantastic run today so far. His teammates running good as well. So the Horizon Group Dodgers are showing their muscle right now. And Lewis right around. Oh, look at Nick Mays trying to fight back around the outside. Nearly up against the wall. But man, what a fight by Nick Mays there to try and hang on to that position. He loses it to Cody Lamas. And Will Lewis up into 5th place from starting out back. Ryan Griffin continuing to push his way towards the front. The point leader underneath of Kyle Collins. This is for 3rd. Collins has ran down Ryan Acosta. And Acosta losing time to Dejon Weeks, who has pulled nearly a straightaway of a lead. 3 wide for 3rd. Will Lewis is there. Acosta leading 2nd. 3rd place is Collins trying to hold off a bunch of Dodges. 4 of them to be exact. Racing for 2nd. But right now, the big battle is for 3rd. The Base Enterprises cars of Cody Lamas and Nick Mays ready to pounce. And here comes the point leader, Ryan Griffin to the inside of Collins. Going to easily take this position away, it seems. Collins trying to fight back, but Griffin's going to cover him off. And Ryan Griffin, who started midfield, looked as though really good in practice. But after qualifying, many people wondered if he would have the race pace. And Griffin was pretty confident that he would. He's up to 3rd. Nick Mace down underneath of Kyle Collins. Trying to push his way up another position, up into the top 5. Collins had a good early run. He's going to need to adjust down that race car for pit stops. But up towards the leaders. For 2nd place at least, Ryan Acosta. His teammate, Ryan Griffin, has pushed his way from mid-pack. And Will Lewis, the Horizon Group Dodge, started deep in the pack, dead last. And Lewis up to 4th place. A fantastic show for Will Lewis right now. And Nick Mace, he's up to 5th after recently passing Kyle Collins. There's Dom Caps and Luis Hernandez. They have damage. And Caps looks as though he's going to be in the pre-qualifying for next week. And he's going to have to qualify in on time because he's had a miserable first 5 races and he's outside the top 30 in points. Ryan Griffin looking on Ryan Acosta. This is for 2nd place. And Griffin, these 2 drivers, the battle of the Ryans. Many people thought that these guys would go head-to-head battling for the lead, but they're battling for 2nd right now. And Ryan Griffin, 2-time winner of this season in the first 4 races. Griffin powers by Acosta for 2nd, and Will Lewis going by Acosta for 3rd. Acosta drops from 2nd to 4th. Well, hold on a second. Here comes Acosta. He did a crossover down in 3 and 4. And Ryan Acosta determined to not back down, and he takes that position back from Will Lewis. A little past halfway in the race, lap 41 of 75, going to take him through the field. Collins is down to 6th. Lamas is there in 7th. Jake Bassinger en route right now to get his first top 10 of the season for Turner Performance. And a Martin Motorsports driver, DJ Curtis, sitting there in 9th. A good top 10 run for him. And 10th is Jordan Davis. The pole sitter has slid back. Dylan Young going to try and get back in the top 10. Bobby Jones has slid down to 12th. TJ Martin there in 13th. 14th position, go back here to Matthew Rodriguez. And Jeffrey Finguy, even with the damage he suffered over over the first caution flag. He pitted under the caution flag on lap 5, and Finn Guy is up to 15th. Sanford was also in there. He's 16th. Davidson down to 17th. Schwellenberg 18th, Richardson 19th, and 20th for Sean Harpo with the damage. 44 right behind him. He's actually a lap down. I thought Dodd was actually up to pace of everybody. He must have pitted a few laps ago. The battle for third heating up again. Will Lewis back underneath of Ryan Acosta. Lap car Garrett Sidner is in the way. This is the first race Sidner has made all season. And he's holding up Ryan Acosta. He lost a position to Lewis, and he lost a position to Mace. And Collins was going to try and get back at him, but couldn't do so. Lamas is there with Bassinger and Curtis, so 9 cars really right here racing for the second position. Jeffrey Finn Guy coming down pit road. He was short pitting there, the 92 was. Some other drivers that are out back are pitting as well. When is the leader of Dejon Weeks going to dive it onto pit road? Looks like it's going to be this lap. Dejon Weeks, who has had a very big lead, up to 8 seconds on Ryan Griffin. And Weeks trying to go back-to-back, does not need any miscues here. Ryan Griffin's going to stay out, get a lap led. Laps led no longer are extra bonus points. The bonus points you get are for finishing in the top 10, and every position you finish high in the top 10 is extra 2 points. So top 10 finishing results are your bonus points, and top 10 finishing results mean the world for this season. And right now, Griffin paces the field, but we're expecting him to pit here soon with Acosta, Collins, Mace, and Lamas yet to pit. But looks like they're going to come down pit road here. Griffin, Acosta, Collins all signaling to pit road, but Nick Mace is going to stay out. Coming out of the pits, Dejon Weeks looks as though he's going to retake the lead again. Will Lewis has passed Ryan Griffin on pit strategy. So Lewis gets ahead of Ryan Griffin. Great pit stop for Will Lewis. I got to give a lot of credit. I already have. Will Lewis started dead last, and right now, as it runs, he's probably going to end up second after pit stops. Okay, so we believe pit stops have already ended as we're closing in on 25 laps to go. Weeks is your leader, and Will Lewis is there in second. Pretty good margin back to Ryan Griffin, the point leader there in third. Collins in fourth. Ryan Acosta there in fifth. DJ Curtis had a very good stop. He has jumped up to 6th. Nick Mace is down to 7th. Racing with Cody Lamas and Jake Bassinger. They're racing there for 8th. And the battle for 10th, Jeffrey Finn Guy. Even though he got caught up in that first caution flag in that big wreck, he short pitted just a little bit, and he is up to 10th. I don't know if he'll be able to hang on to it because Dylan Young's a good race car back there behind him. He's in 11th. 12th is Davis. 13th is Jones. 14th, Martin. 15th is James Richardson. A fantastic run for Richardson in United Emirates Racing. DJ Curtis challenging Ryan Acosta here to the inside in 1 and 2. 1 and 2 has been a big passing zone. 3 and 4 has been a little different, but Acosta down the straightaway has a little bit more power than the 19. And Curtis not able to take away that 5th place. But further behind them, Jake Bassinger still eyeing his first top 10 run of the season. And Finn Guy looks like he's up to pace, actually. A great run for Finn Guy. He may be able to keep up another top 10 run today if he can hang on. But Lamas keeping Bassinger off for now. And Acosta doing the same thing for Curtis. He's trying to get after Collins. This battle for 15th has been a lot of fun to watch. Dylan Schwellenberg getting after James Richardson here. They're also in the middle of some lap traffic. And Schwellenberg to the inside of Richardson. Look at Rodriguez slicing around John Art there. Is Art even on the lead lap? Yes, he is. He's doing well. And Rodriguez looking 3 wide here on Schwellenberg. 3 wide. This is for a top 15 spot. And Rodriguez really loose there. Rodriguez, Schwellenberg, Richardson, Art, and Harpo getting after it 3 wide on the racetrack. And look at Art getting racy, trying to follow his teammate to the inside. And Rodriguez, a little slide there on Dylan Schwellenberg. And Matthew Rodriguez into the 15th position, going to cover him off. Jake Bassinger underneath of Cody Lamas again. These two have been doing a big battle here for 8. And further up, Nick Mace trying to get around Curtis. Don't know if he has the run to hold that on. But Lamas continuing to hold off the 97. Finn Guy has joined the picture as well. A great rebound for Finn Guy, who was involved in that first wreck. I'm surprised he's as fast as he is. And Mace underneath of Curtis, still trying to keep the momentum up. This is for 6th position. And it looks like Mace is going to get it here. He's got a good run down the back straight. And Nick Mace, who has been very consistent. Look at this. Ryan Acosta, the inside of Kyle Collins. Mace slides around DJ Curtis. And Ryan Acosta not able to get around him, but here comes Curtis with a slide job, or a crossover after Mace's slide job. And Acosta not able to get around him, but further back, Bassinger did get around Lamas. And Lamas is back down to 9th. And Finn Guy tried to get around him, and Finn Guy edged Lamas for 9th at the line. He's trying to get around him on the outside. Lamas struggling with his race car just a little bit. Finn Guy struggling as well. He's got a slower car because of damage. But further up, Curtis trying to hang on. Mace trying to go around the outside line, coming in here late in the race. And Mace gets around Curtis a little bit, but Curtis still trying to fight. Young closing in on this battle for 10th. Or it's actually a battle for 9th. And Finn Guy and Lamas continue to run side by side. With less than 20 to go now, Finn Guy up to 9th. This battle here by Kyle Collins, Acosta, Mace, and Curtis has been a lot of fun. They've been so close. Here comes Mace to the inside. A little loose there, the 48. Acosta there in 5th. Mace trying to get into the top 5. Bassinger trying to close in 2. But right now the big battle is for 6. Curtis trying to fight back against Mace. Great run for Curtis to be inside the top 10 here. Caution flag is out. This is huge. The caution flag is out. Not sure what the caution flag is out for, but Curtis gonna get around Nick Mace here for 6th. So the caution flag flies, and Griffin, Lewis, and Weeks are gonna be tickled to death about this opportunity on the restart to try and get around Dejon Weeks. Here it is. Dylan Schwellenberg ends up getting spun around in turn 1, and it's because John Art gets into the left rear, spinning him around. Misjudgment by Art, trying to get in there and trying to race that 8 car. Passing was beginning to be tough to do as tires were wearing on. They got really aggressive, and Schwellenberg gets spun around. He had a top 15 day, possibly in the bag. As we come to the line, it'll be 11 laps to go. Dejon Weeks, who has dominated this race, is going to have his hands full. A bunch of dodges. Somebody's in trouble, it seems. Bassinger was wiggling to the inside with Finn Guy as well. But dodges all behind that Ford. Lewis there in 2nd, looking for his first ever win in the Sony Cup Series. Griffin there in 3rd. Collins looking for a win in a long time there in 4th. Ryan Acosta there in 5th. DJ Curtis 6th. Nick Mace 7th. Bassinger in 8th. Finn Guy 9th. Lamas 10th. That is your top 10. Who's going to win here for round 5 at California? Weeks is bringing us down. Restart, and we're racing. Will Lewis took a big run to the outside line. Lewis never a winner in the Sony Cup Series. He's got a fast dodge. He's trying to go from dead last to 1st. And he's right there. He's clearing the 44 car. Chris Dodd probably not going to give them much of a headache. And the front 3 clear the lap traffic. This is going to be so much fun. Can Weeks hold on and get a win back-to-back? Can Lewis get his first ever win, or can Ryan Griffin get his 3rd win in the Sony Cup Series? They're racing hard further back for every position possible. Finn Guy up the middle. They're all trying to get back in this. A top 10 spot is up for grabs. And Matt DeLeo really slowing off the pace, holding up some drivers. The front 3 leaders getting away. Will Lewis all over the back bumper of that 38 car. And Lewis to the inside. Horizon Group has won 2 of the last 4 races here at California. And Lewis trying to do it again. Ryan Griffin is there. Lewis and Griffin in the top 10 of the points. Weeks 15th in points. And look at this side by side. Weeks trying to hold off Will Lewis. And indeed he does there. Collins is cleared, or Acosta has cleared Collins there for 4th. And Collins having a good run there in 5th. 6th is May, 7th is Bassinger. And a great rebound for Finn Guy to be in the top 10 right now. Pole Sitter still in the top 10. And Young rebounding as they push DJ Curtis out of the top 10. Further up, though, Dejon Weeks is under fire from the dodges of both the Horizon Group cars and the Allen Family Racing cars. Will Lewis, hungry for this race win. He's known to be very aggressive on the back bumper of that 38 car. Will Lewis, will he win today? We have to find out. Closing in on the last few laps. Lewis is not going to give up. Here he comes. Oh, Weeks trying to cover him off. Man, Lewis is giving him a run right now. He could have really ran over him there in turns 1. Dejon Weeks seems like he's struggling with his race car just a little bit. Lewis seems like he's a little bit better. Ryan Griffin there too. And Weeks continuing to cover him off. But he is so much better in turns 1 and 2. Him and Griffin both. Dodge versus Ford. Yeah, Motorsports trying to take this win. There's 4 Dodges right behind Dejon Weeks. And Will Lewis able to cut to the inside. So much better than Dejon Weeks. And it'll be a miracle if Weeks can hang on to this one. He is doing everything possible to keep Will Lewis back right now. 3 cars under a blanket. Acosta and Collins further back. And look at this. Through 3 and 4. Lewis trying all he can. Back to the line. It'll be 6 laps to go. Can Weeks hold on? Further back for a top 10 spot. Bobby Jones underneath of Dylan Young trying to get another top 10 run. Curtis and teammate John Arter right there. And they're going to give him a big go, but Bobby Jones still having a really good run. Further up, Jake Bassinger trying to get around Nick Mace for 6th. And Ryan Griffin challenging Will Lewis there for 2nd. And that is exactly what Dejon Weeks wants to see. He wants to see them guys racing each other. But Lewis not bowing down to the point leader today. Lewis wanting to gain points. He's wanting to win this race. And Weeks the same way. Will Lewis is back on the back bumper again. With only a couple of laps to go now. Here he comes to the inside. Dejon Weeks better get a good run off the corner. I think this is where Will Lewis is going to get him. As we come to the line, it'll only be about 3 laps to go. Will Lewis is right where he needs to be to take this position. Weeks needs to throw it in the corner there. And he's doing exactly that. On the outside, trying to hang on. Dejon Weeks looking for back-to-back wins. Will Lewis, look at Weeks down the straightaway. Yeah, Motorsports power takes the lead back. Oh my goodness, what a battle we're watching. Lewis gonna drive it back in here. Griffin hugging the bottom. Here comes Lewis, back to the bottom. Side by side, but Weeks up the outside line. Dejon Weeks trying to bring forward a win here in California. Look at Griffin with a run down the back straight. Looking underneath of Will Lewis. Exactly what Dejon Weeks is looking. But Lewis getting a run on the outside of Griffin. Back to the line. It'll be 2 laps to go. Will Lewis looking for his first Sony Cup Series win. Can he win in the backup car from starting out back? On the back bumper again. He is so good in this corner. Watch him right here to the inside of Dejon Weeks. But Dejon Weeks is so good at the exit. Weeks' car has so much power down the straightaway, and it's going to be so difficult. Lewis has such a good car in the corners, and that's where he's going to make the move. Look at Lewis again, trying all he can. Look at this move by Will Lewis, coming to the white flag lap. Will Lewis looking for his first Sony Cup Series win. They're side by side. Griffin going to help Lewis here. Ryan Griffin looking for 3 wide. 3 wide for the race lead at this race. The white flag is out. Griffin to the inside. Ryan Griffin trying to make a pass. What a move by Ryan Griffin. Oh my goodness, Ryan Griffin, what a move. 3 wide for the lead. Now Lewis gonna give it a go. Weeks is out of the picture. Here comes Lewis into 3 one last time. And Lewis just throws it in there. Griffin trying to get the run on the outside. Ryan Griffin looking for 3 wins to start the year. Lewis looking for his first. Not gonna happen today. Ryan Griffin, what a last lap pass on 2 race cars. 3 wide into turn 1. What a move. Oh my God. What a pass. Ryan Griffin takes the win. And a statement win, if I may say so myself. Oh boy. Fantastic move. That was a brilliant pass. Oh man. Side by side down the straightaway, Lewis and Weeks gave Griffin the momentum he needed. And wow. Oh my God, we gotta see that again. Watch this. Oh my, look at Lewis. I think he made contact there with Daejeon Weeks. But watch this. Oh my goodness. Ryan Griffin, what a pass into turn 1. He just sees an opening, and there he goes. Way down the inside. He doesn't even have that good of an apex in the corner. And he just lets it slide up in front of Lewis, and Lewis has to glide out of it. Weeks out of the groove just a little bit. He loses all his momentum, and here it comes Lewis. He's been a little bit better than Griffin all race long, and Lewis, he's going to dive it down into turn 3. Look at this run by Will Lewis. He gave it all he could to try and win his first Sony Cup Series race, and just Griffin powers it back on the outside. And Ryan Griffin, the point leader, is going to win his 3rd race of the season and 4th career race. Brilliant, brilliant racing by the front 3. Absolutely fantastic. Oh my. Great fight to the end. And Ryan Griffin leads. I think he may have led a lap under pit stops, but he gets the final lap as the most important one. And he extends his championship lead on his rivals. Fantastic finish to this race. Let's get you to our finishing results and standings after round 5.